Hello, you glorious viewers and subscribers. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm having a great one too because today I am going to visit the wonderful city of Portland, Oregon. Well, okay, that of course was sarcasm kicking in because from what I've seen in Google Street View, Portland, Oregon has some very serious problems. To be honest, in my opinion, Portland looks like a complete mess. I wish I could say it differently and actually mean it, but when I saw Portland in Google Street View, I was kind of relieved that they put two oceans in between Portland and me. I've been exploring Portland for about 2 hours in Google Street View and I found about 30 spots where homeless people were living in tents on the streets. And what you can see in Google Street View is just the tip of the iceberg, because most of the central area in Portland has most recently been visited by the Street View camera in 2019. But whenever there are spots with homeless people that were photographed in 2021 or 2022, then it gets really interesting, because then you can see that in many cases in 2019, the streets were just fine, not much worrying going on, but the same spots 2 years later looked like a total mess. Here you can see an excellent example to demonstrate this. In 2019, this looks like a pretty normal street, but in January 2022, this street is turning into a homeless camp. Here in this example, the difference between a normal street and a homeless camp unfolds much more rapidly. In October 2021, this looks like a normal street, but 3 months later it is already turning into a homeless camp. As in many other American cities, the homeless problem has gotten out of hand rapidly during the past few years. And there is Google Street View to show you the evidence. But maybe I'm wrong, because on YouTube I found this video. It's a promotion video for Portland, and it's called This is Portland, and it presents Portland as a very nice place to be. Nowhere in that promotion video do they show one homeless camp, and nowhere do they show the piles of trash that you can find in many streets in Portland. All we see is nice people, nice food and nice buildings. Now I do get that if you promote a city, you want that city to look good. But I think this is a ridiculous way to portray a city that has to spend $100 million every year on pushing around homeless people from one street to another. I think it's unfair to the homeless people themselves to make a promotion video like that. These people already feel ignored, and then on top of that, this promotion video ignores that they even exist. It's also unfair to the people who are looking for a place to invest money or buy a home. If they watch a video like that promotion video, they might think like, oh well, that's a safe, nice and clean place to move to with my family, only to find out later that their backyard has turned into a public waste dump. I think it would be much better to be a bit more balanced, fair and realistic about this, even in a promotion video. And I think that most YouTube viewers would agree with me, because this smooth and fancy promotion video for Portland gets 3 times more dislikes than likes. Ouch! Apparently, viewers do not appreciate the way that Portland is presented in that promotion video. Well, then maybe it's a good idea to listen to why the viewers don't like your video, so that you can learn something from that. No, of course not. You don't want to listen to critical viewers, so you switch off comments. That makes much more sense. Well, back to reality then. How bad is Portland exactly? Well, in my opinion, it's pretty bad. Yes, it's bad and it's everywhere. Portland has quite a few homeless camps in its central and downtown area. I think about 5 years ago, this was a pretty nice place with fancy shops and good restaurants, but then came the protests and the riots, and the defunding the police movement, and then, to top it off, we got the bug, you know what I mean. By now, central Portland looks like this. It's incredible. The homeless camps are not only in the central area, but also outside of the city. There, the homeless camps are even bigger and worse. This is the area around Delta Park. There is a huge homeless camp over there. It's about a mile long. There is trash everywhere, and there are hundreds of people living in their cars, in rundown RVs and in the usual tents. Then there is the bank of the Columbia River, and that looks even more ridiculous. It's as if some kind of alternative post-apocalyptic city is emerging there. This must be how society is going to look like when they drop the bomb on downtown. It's crazy. During the most recent official count, Portland had 205 homeless camps on its streets, and that was the official number of homeless camps in 2019. And now it's much worse. And by now, the city of Portland finally somewhat recognized the problem, so they are dealing with it now, in their own way. The city of Portland is going to spend $1 billion on the homeless problem during the next 10 years. But I honestly wonder if they will be spending all that money on actual solutions, because the homeless problem in Portland seems to be growing every year. One thing is for sure, a lot of that money goes to private contractors who remove homeless camps from the streets. This program has been around for quite a few years now. They are sweeping about 10 to 30 homeless camps every single week. Then how come the homeless problem in Portland won't disappear? Oh no, it's almost as if pushing around homeless people from one spot to another is not a real solution. Oh, that can't be true. Who would have thought that? Well, unfortunately, that is reality. And again, Google Street View shows the evidence. There are spots that have been swept in September 2021, but 3 months later, at that same spot, there is a homeless camp again in the middle of the streets. Apparently, you don't solve homelessness by pushing around people. With that strategy, nobody wins. Not the city officials of Portland. They just spend a lot of money, and they can never show the public that the overall situation improved. The people of Portland aren't winning either, because they see the homeless camp in their backyard disappear today, and then it returns a few months later. And not the homeless people themselves, especially them. They won't win anything from this strategy either. Their problems are only getting bigger if they are pushed around all the time. They are even going to show more risky and dangerous behavior towards themselves and the people around them if their government treats them like trash. Look, here in Europe, there is a lot of stuff that we don't handle very well. But when it comes to homelessness, many European countries understand that homelessness is a very deep and complicated problem, and it finds its roots in how people grow up, if they have a loving family or not, if they get proper education, if they are paid a decent wage for their hard work, and if they are treated with respect by their government. Homelessness is a societal problem, and it's a symptom of a rotten society that needs to change from its core. The more we ignore the core values of family life, the more we tolerate crime on the streets, the more we create a gap between the haves and the have-nots, the more we cut social programs, the more we tend to ignore people and leave people behind, the more we raise their rents, the more we push them into low-paying, unsatisfying jobs, the more of them will lose their connection to the society that spits them out, and so they will end up on the streets, using drugs, drinking alcohol, committing petty crimes, and the more likely they will end up in a short and miserable life. Is that what we want for the people around us? Is that what we want for ourselves, our parents, or our children? It could be your father, your mother, your son, or your daughter who might be living in a tent on the streets one day. Is that what we want? Is all that misery worth paying a few % less taxes? I know what my answer is. I'm gladly prepared to pay a bit more taxes in order for every child to get a decent education, in order for every drug addict to get treatment, in order to provide help to every homeless person who wants to make a serious effort to return to a normal, productive and decent life again. I would gladly pay for that. But hey, who am I? I am the European, and I thank you very much for watching. Please give my video a like and a comment and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like these. It would really help me to grow my channel and create more content. So thank you very much and see you at the next video. Bye.